Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Magoo.
All right. Mr. Gu, you are representing yourself. I do have to apprise you that you are before the court on charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. That is a high court misdemeanor, or what technically is known as a high court misdemeanor, and or felony punishable by up to 2 years, $2,000 fine plus court costs. There are great perils in representing yourself. In this, you have to understand that I am going to treat you the same as though you know the laws and the rules of evidence. I will not treat you worse because you are not represented. I will not treat you better or grant any favors or try to clarify anything for you. If, for whatever reason, during any point in this proceeding, you wish to be represented by counsel and cannot afford to hire counsel, counsel will be appointed to represent you. As I have in the past hearings asked you to acknowledge what I've said, I'm going to only indicate that I believe that you understand English. You believe that the words that I have said to you are understood so that we don't get into...
Mr. Mio is back and is about to learn exactly why having legal representation is absolutely essential. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, this is actually part 2 of a previous video where we first met Daniel Mio, and let me tell you, he did not make a good impression. The guy refuses to answer Judge Simpson's questions, acts smug, and carries himself like he's above it all. Spoiler alert, he's not. Things start off rough for Mr. Mio in this one. I mean, who chews gum in a courtroom while facing serious charges and without a lawyer? It's wild. And honestly, saying his name out loud still feels strange, but what's even stranger is how he's handling his case. Let this be a lesson. Get legal representation. Don't follow in Mr. Mio's footsteps. Alright, enough from me. Let's dive into the video and see exactly how this all plays out.
Thank you.
So I will not ask you to acknowledge. I will presume that you do indeed understand everything that I've said. Now, having said that, what are we doing with this case?
I'd like to move for evidentiary hearing or prelim.
You wish to have a preliminary examination?
Preliminary examination, yes, sir.
Would the people have their witnesses available the second?
We can try, Your Honor, but before moving toward that, would the court be willing to make its inquiries about discovery? I am aware of the defendant having filed a writ of mandamus with the Court of Appeals of the state of Michigan.
Yes.
That was subsequently dismissed without prejudice by the Court of Appeals.
Correct.
Contained within that, though, there are allegations that my office has violated its Brady obligations and has not provided sufficient discovery. So I'm not sure if we're ready to move forward to preliminary exam. The defendant is saying that he doesn't have all of the discovery. That is the concern of the court. The record I feel compelled to make at this time, though, is that the people have provided, I do believe, complete discovery to the defendant, and I believe that some of the representations that were made in this writ of mandamus that has been dismissed appear to allege that things that have already been denied by this court should be produced. Furthermore, the defendant filed a motion with no notice of hearing attached to it. So there's an outstanding motion in this case as well, no hearing date scheduled. So I'm hoping that we can sort of reconcile both of those things as whether or not discovery is complete, the defendant's prepared to move forward, and if he ever intends to file a notice of hearing to go along with the motion that I received in this case on 11/22.
Mr. Magoo, your response?
My response is that I thought this was the hearing that we were setting for the motion. So if I have to set a motion for a notice of hearing for that motion, I will do that today, Your Honor, promptly.
What about discovery?
I'm ready to move forward on my what I meant by my discovery comment was that there's still no exculpatory evidence as far as that I did anything wrong as far as anything that they've submitted. So if it was improper for the wording, Your Honor, I apologize, but my ultimate goal is have the prosecution present their evidence against me.
I'm going to indicate discovery is complete because I don't know what you're saying. because what you just said regarding discovery didn't make any sense. As it regards the motion, we will hear the motion or the motion will be heard on date of exam.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Deal with it at that point in time. So the people would have their witnesses available on the second.
We could try for the second, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, January 2nd, 2025, 12.
Yeah.
12 noon, that is before me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And continue.
This guy is a perfect example of why you need legal representation. Not only is he showing up to court without a lawyer, but is also incredibly smug, and for some reason, he thinks he can outsmart the judge. I honestly have no idea why he thought that was a good idea. If anyone in the comments can explain why this guy is acting so irrational, I'd love to hear your take. To me, he comes across like a sovereign citizen. I've covered a few of those on my channel before, and they always have this over-the-top, I'm smarter than the court attitude. They talk down to judges, ignore basic courtroom procedure, and act like the law just doesn't apply to them. It's wild. Now, here's the kicker. This guy isn't just in court for something minor. He's facing charges for assaulting a police officer, and on top of that, he lost custody of his child because of it. That's not something that happens lightly. Losing custody is a serious matter, and yet this guy is acting like it's just another day in the park. He walks into court like, oh, I didn't do it, with zero accountability. It's shocking. Honestly, the judge is clearly fed up with him, and I think most people watching this probably feel the same way. This entire situation just proves how important legal representation is. I say it all the time. Don't represent yourself, especially in serious cases like this. It never ends well. I don't know if it's mostly sovereign citizens who do this, but every time I've seen someone try to represent themselves in court, it backfires. They end up hurting their own case, dragging things out, or just making a complete fool of themselves, and that's exactly what's happening here. Also, how did this guy even have a kid? He seems so immature and unstable. I can't imagine how he managed to take care of a child, given the way he's acting in court. Anyway, that wraps up my breakdown. I'll be posting the next court hearing in January when it comes out. I'm sure it's going to be just as chaotic and honestly, very entertaining. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a ton. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care.